Massachusetts' liberal leanings, but it suggested that the church had staying power. Fina found photos showing the Gatchells doing various good deeds, looking wholesome and energetic. They had a house in Wellesley that they'd purchased for $1.7 million 10 months earlier, and their eldest daughter was a student at a Christian day school. Another link brought up a selection of Pastor Greg's sermons. After watching for about 20 minutes, Fina felt quite sure that she was not a godly woman. She didn't believe in Satan, wasn't interested in deferring to a husband, and didn't spend time worrying about what came after death. Raised Protestant, Fina's religious upbringing consisted of attending church on Christmas Eve and Easter. She didn't begrudge anyone their right to worship whatever god they wanted, but she didn't think religion should demand the subjugation or mistreatment of one's fellow man or woman. And the faith thing, that always got her. She fired off an email to her financial investigator, Hal Boyd. He did more detailed searches on her behalf that tended to stray from the bounds of legality, and Fina instructed him to take a look at the church and the Gatchells. They were living large, and Fina had to wonder, did the pastor and his wife have an independent source of income, or was their lovely home due to the generosity of their followers? With a deep exhalation, he thrust the weights up, away from his chest. His arms shook, and the dumbbells swayed slightly. He grimaced and started counting to 10, but only made it to 6 before dropping the weights to the floor with a slam. Greg Gatchell peeled his sweaty back off the bench and swiveled to the side, planting his feet on the floor. Sweat trickled down his face and over his lip as he chugged from a bottle of water. Resting his elbows on his knees, he struggled to take deep breaths. He hoisted himself off the bench and plucked his iPod from the docking station near the door, turning down the Christian rock that had motivated him throughout the workout. Catching his reflection in the mirror, Greg took stock. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. He was carrying a few extra pounds here and there, but there were hints of muscle definition. Every week, Greg stood before his growing congregation and preached to them. If he wanted to move them, to inspire them, he had to convince them that his path was righteous and fruitful. Looking good was one way to do that. It was also doctor's orders. His most recent checkup had revealed rising cholesterol, and his blood pressure was creeping up. He looked forward to the afterlife and meeting his heavenly Father, but not just yet. Greg was lifting his damp shirt from his stomach to assess his midriff when the door opened, and Gabby popped her head into the home gym. "Stop checking yourself out," she said, leaning against the doorframe, her face forming a wary smile. "Just assessing my progress. You look good." Gabby ran her hand over one of the weight machines before taking a seat on a bench. The home gym may have seemed like an extravagance to some, but the couple had decided it was a reasonable investment. Both of them needed to project a certain image, and as the church's influence grew, they felt less comfortable exercising at the neighborhood YMCA. "You need something?" Greg asked. "Elder Ben called. He's concerned about the Raffertys. Their son was suspended again." Greg sighed. "That kid." "You going to go over there?" "I suppose I need to. Give Jane Rafferty a call later, after I've had a chance to stop by. See if she wants to pray with you." "I'll do it after prayer group." Greg looked puzzled. "I thought Sue was leading that." "She has a conflict. I'm just filling in for her." She stared at him. "Is that okay?" Her voice was tinged with sarcasm. He blinked again. "Of course it's okay. It's Christ's work." Gabby left, pulling the door closed behind her. Greg looked in the mirror and flexed his biceps. His flock needed a strong shepherd to lead them.